Hey everyone, here I am a month later after my last video. It's been a while. I have been very busy over the holidays, as I'm sure most of you have been. They were all very enjoyable. I hope yours were too, whatever you celebrated. And Happy New Year! Very exciting, I think. Uh, Ring-a-ding-ding. I'm not a big celebrator of New Year's. I stayed in. You would never know that I'm 22 based on the way that I live my life. But it's all been very nice. So anywho, I decided that it was time to do a new video. I have several new subscribers. Welcome and thank you for subscribing. Always nice to have fresh people, new perspectives. Um, I don't know. Well, anywho, my last video that I did was on Thanksgiving and all that. Was a reading for Thanksgiving, and it, that was an interesting spread for me, or rather, reading for me because, um, well, it was a demonstration, I think, of how you can use tarot for a number of different things, and excuse me, and that you don't have to use it just for, you know, um, determining what your current situation is, or what's going to happen in the immediate future or something like that. It doesn't have to be so cut and dry. You really can use it for just about anything, because it gives you it's a tool for advice, and that's important to remember. And so that being said, I had the idea to do more stuff along those lines, but on a smaller scale. Um, I realize I talk a lot about things like the opening of the key, these big, overwhelming spreads that I get a lot of messages from you all saying that it's very confusing and that you're trying very hard to learn it, and that's good. That's very good because it is a spread that has not been approached by many in the overall tarot community. And if I can sort of do my civic duty, my social part, by pushing people to try to learn it, then I will feel vindicated and accomplished. So because it is a very important spread, but um, for everyday life, it is not necessarily convenient to do a full opening of the key or even just an operation of it. So I thought I would do a small series of videos on on shorter spreads and different purposes you can use with tarot. Um, that was a bad sentence, but you know what I mean. The different ways you can use a pack of tarot cards to really, I guess, help you make better decisions about things, or to gain greater insight into things. So of course that's what it's all about. Um, I've been reading Dion Fortune lately, and she's very interesting. Highly recommend her book, The Mystical Kabbalah. Um, I'm sure that's not the only thing she's ever written, but she ever wrote, rather, as she is no longer with us. But it is perhaps one of her most famous, and it's pretty appalling that I never read it before, but it's very good. And in it, she says, she's talking about the Kabbalah, go figure. And she says she's talking about how it's such an incredible system for storing information. And she says that because the tarot is so based on it, of course, these are 19th century appropriations, but because the tarot is based on it and is modeled on it, um, therefore there's a profundity to it, and there's a difference between divination and fortune telling. That one deals much more with a profound sense of, I guess, initiation, she would call it. And the other is more, I guess, generic and not as useful, and sort of mundane. So, but you know, at the same time, this is not to say that I agree with her. I do think that it is important to understand that tarot is not just about figuring out, and I mean, I've talked about this endlessly in previous videos, as you know, some of my subscribers who have been with me a long time. But you know that I try to push using tarot for deeper things, and not just petty fortune telling. This is not to say that you can't use tarot for that, but I think that, you know, because tarot is something that seems to, or rather divination is something that seems to defy laws of probability, there is something inherently divine or supernatural about it. And so it should be respected, or we should try to respect it anyway. Anywho, so I thought, before I keep running my mouth more than I need to, I thought the first one I would show you, the first little spread I would talk about, is the 3-card spread. Now, everyone knows the 3-card spread. This is even more ubiquitous than, say, the Celtic Cross. But usually a lot of people use it for past, present, future. Excuse me, I am here to tell you that you do not need to use it for just that. I'm sure many of you use 3-card spreads for various things, but I wanted to show you how, excuse me, I wanted to show you how I tend to use it. I use it all the time, practically more than any other spread. On a day-to-day basis, I use a 3-card spread for something or other. It could be anything. I use it literally for anything and everything. And I find that the most effective way of using it is without assigning positions to it at all. And you literally just let them say what they're going to say. This is a fantastic way to get advice about a situation. You know, to ask about the outcome of certain decisions you could be making. You know, and if you hypothetically did assign positions to things, you could compare the results of certain decisions you could make, or just any old thing. It's incredibly versatile. I've had great success, and it's been very productive, I think, to use this spread in that way. So I'd like to use, as an example, the deck I got for Christmas, which was the Universal Marseille Tarot deck. And I've been enjoying using it very much. It's something that I don't really know much about. I've never used anything quite like it. Although it is, I mean, from my perspective, I think it's very similar to the Crowley, or rather, Crowley's is very similar to it. So using it is not all that different. But anywho, I could conceivably do another video on that if anyone is interested. But let's just say I wanted to do a spread about, oh, I don't know. Let's say I wanted to know, let's come up with something. I want to know how, well, gosh, I'm running. This is pretty bad, huh? I would just like to know how tomorrow is going to go. Okay? Basic question. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with something stupid like that. But anywho, let's say I wanted to know how tomorrow is going to go. And technically this is, I suppose, a future type of reading. But we're not going to say that one position means, you know, more of a future than another card. You know, like future, futurer, and more future, as that doesn't make sense. We're just going to ask what the main themes of tomorrow are going to be. I'm so used to shuffling with those enormous Crowley cards that I have a hard time shuffling. It's sort of funny. These have beautiful backs, by the way. Really nice. Not the most aesthetically pleasing, but endearing nonetheless. Alright, I'll just give one shuffle since this is just an example. And my screensaver's up. Great. Ugh. Wake up. Okay. So I'm just going to cut, as I do. 1, 2, 3. Pretty standard. And then I take the middle pack. Done. Okay. So now I'm going to do the top 3 cards. And I always look at the bottom card too, to figure out what the overall idea is. And in this case I have the King of Pentacles, as shown here. But my 3 main ideas for tomorrow are, supposedly, the World. I didn't really shuffle with any integrity, but the World, the Hermit, and the Devil. Okay. So now, I'm just going to point them this way for you guys. So this is my first set of 3. Now I can look at this and say that, you know, well, I don't really need to read this for you guys because this is more just showing you how I use it. Use the 3-card spread. But I would say that these are my main ideas. I could say that tomorrow might be, you know, I might finish something that I've been working on for a long time, or, you know, but I might be very solitary, probably retreating a lot and just kind of taking it easy. But the Devil shows perhaps, I don't know, I mean I don't know, I'm not sure what that might mean, but maybe I'll have a particularly productive day while I'm here. I don't know. But anywho, let's say that I wanted more information about those things. Then I would simply draw right from the top. I'm not going to shuffle again. And I'm going to draw right from the top and create another row right under it for a second set of details regarding each main idea. So going this way, because that's the way they came out, I get the Knight of Wands for the World, the 6 of Pentacles for the Hermit, and the Star for the Devil. So now you're basically just going to see how this changes the way you read that first group of cards. You know, so for the World, gosh, I don't even know. Like I said, I really didn't shuffle this particularly well, or in any way that felt like it, you know, was ready to be drawn. As this was just an example. But again, you know, I might want to say that, something that I've maybe been exploring, you know, for a long time, a different avenue of something that I've been working on for a long time, may reach completion. That's actually fairly true. Here I might say that I don't know, that I almost get the sense of doing like homey tasks and stuff for others, maybe, you know, I don't know. And then over here, I might say, I mean, this is of course double major arcana, so that's maybe an important thing. And maybe it might have to do with something with, I am going to go see a show tomorrow night with a friend, I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. So now if I really wanted advice concerning this, I would draw a third row. And I know now you're saying, well, now we're at 9 cards, and you know it's kind of no longer a 3-card spread, and you're basically right. But what I try to do is consider the cards in a column as all connected and creating one idea. So technically you're still dealing with with 3 ideas. You're just adding layers to it. Okay, so now we're going to just draw one more row. And usually the last row, what I choose to do for that, and I found this very helpful, is I ask, how should I approach each of these main ideas? How should I see them? How should I deal with them? You know, how should I think about them? What is your advice regarding each thing, each main idea? Okay, so I'm just going to draw one more time. And this is the seven of discs, so 7 of pentacles. Gosh. For him, I have the 5 of wands, and for this, I have the wheel of fortune. So here I might say in this pile that I should understand that it really isn't quite over, that it might take a lot of tweaking what I'm working on, that I might need to revisit it many times, that it might not work exactly the way I'd like it to at first. Here it might say that, I mean, this I think is a very active card, and it says maybe I shouldn't just, you know, lay around and do nothing. That I need to still be productive and fight against the urge to just kind of lounge about. And this is funny because, you know, the show I'm going to is something I didn't exactly plan on doing. It sort of just fell in my lap. You know, I got tickets for this totally out of the blue. So it is funny to have gotten the Wheel of Fortune for it, for how to approach it, and I think it's just saying, you know, take it as an act of whimsy in a way, and just try to enjoy it. It says that it might actually be kind of fun, I think, especially given the other cards. You know, and now that I think about it, it's also sort of amusing to have the devil, because the show I'm going to see, whether I want to or not, which frankly I don't really want to, is Shrek the Musical, for better or worse. So, you know, of course, Shrek is a character that is demonized, and we have Le Diable. So, you know, maybe this was more accurate than I thought it was going to be. So anywho, so that's how I would tackle that. There are many other ways of dealing with the 3-card spread, of using it for different things. Again, like I said, you can use it for, you know, what would be the result of this decision here, you know, if I chose this path instead of this path. Excuse me, and you can go on and on with it. I mean, really, I have found this to be the most inexhaustible spread, simply because it's undefined. As soon as you define the positions of the 3-card spread, I think you limit it tremendously. And so you restrict its usability. Alright, so in the next video, well, I'll talk about another little spread like this. I haven't quite figured out which one that's going to be yet, but well, I think I know what I'll do. Anywho, stay tuned. I realize this was an 18-minute long video for a 3-card spread. I apologize. But I hope you found it interesting and helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.